This is the most important part of this continuing conversation on positive happenings in Nigeria's federal civil service that has come of age. Now, under the watch of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson Jack, the knowledge management system is raising the bar of service delivery within MDAs with effective policy implementation using real-time dashboard and direct oversight. In a world and fast-evolving technologies, digital tools and artificial intelligence are being harnessed in service as learning systems to assist in enhancing service delivery. This is Reshaping Democracy. I am Amina Nujay. Now, at the top of this leadership development, effective management output for a strong and viral federal civil service, DD Esther Wilson Jack stands tall, building on existing foundation with concrete mix and iron rods to stand the test of time. She is again on Reshaping Democracy to give more insight on the road to repositioning Nigeria's service sector while answering citizens' inquiries on progresses made in recent times.
My name is Adebi Babatunde Razak from Abuja, Head of Service Ma. I want to ask, how has the performance management system, which has now replaced the annual performance evaluation report, how has the compliance, been effected in our ministries, in MDAs, and how has the results been perpetrated into the training, capacity building, and then promotion and performance of civil servants?
Okay, Debbie, well, I'm happy you're a civil servant, so I'm sure you can answer this question as well as I can. But just to say that compliance with the performance management system has improved significantly across MDAs. But I always say that we are not yet where we want to be, but we are on the right track. So if you recall, within my first 100 days, I declared every Thursday as PMS Day across the Federal Civil Service. So every Thursday, MDAs are expected to focus on PMS activities, setting targets, reviewing deliverables, tracking performance, and addressing gaps. I also do a surprise visit to ministries from time to time to see the level of compliance. This is not a reform we are implementing only by circular. We are following it up on the field. And I want to say that indeed the ministries are doing well. We've received their performance appraisal reports, and we're looking forward to a situation where every officer will be assessed on his or her performance. And because this indeed will help government measure whether work is actually producing results. For me, PMS is not a form. It is not about the upper form. It is a culture change. It is about moving from I came to work to I delivered value.
Okay, my name is Charles Darlington and I reside here in Abuja. I think Nigeria needs to know from the table of the head of service, we need to know this. How does, how do you monitor this implementation of policies that is all around? We need to know if it's a real-time dashboard or quarterly. I just think we need to know how these implementations are being monitored from the MDAs.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a good question. So we monitor policy implementation through reports, direct engagement, digital tools. Yes, we have dashboards and physical oversight. At the center of all of this, however, is the Central Results Delivery Coordination Unit, which helps us track implementation of priority reforms across the MDAs. So every MDA has its mandate, and the unit follows up on their deliverables, reviews progress, identifies bottlenecks, and ensures that reform commitments do not remain on paper alone. We also engage the permanent secretaries, directors, and reform focal officers regularly to assess what is working, what is delayed, and where support is required. So we do a lot of training of the desk officers in this regard. Beyond reports, however, I believe strongly in direct oversight and open engagement. And that is why, like I said, I visit the ministries from time to time. We also use platforms such as the Public Service Live with Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. That is a hybrid meeting where we invite all the public servants and we engage, they ask questions, and we have answers, and then we take polls, and we know what their concerns are, and we receive responses real time of the issues that affect them. We also have similarly the quarterly citizens and stakeholders engagement, where we interact, listen, clarify issues with citizens and stakeholders, and follow up on reform implementation. We believe that when you engage directly, you see the real situation, hear from officers and stakeholders, and you're able to resolve the issues faster. For us, implementation is not complete because a circular has been issued. Implementation is complete when results are visible, measurable, and beneficial to the citizens whom we serve.
Honorable End of Service, I am Lydia Alade from Ekiti. In an era of data and AI, what is the HCFS strategy for continuous training? Which skills are prioritized now, and how are you ensuring officers in rural MDAs get the same access as those in Abuja?
Okay, so before I answer this question, let me just say I'm quite happy to see that we're having questions from all over the country. So it's not just about Abuja or about the Federal Civil Service. And I believe that that is because we have since started a collaboration with the states. And so many of the things we're doing at the federal level is actually cascading down to the states. We've been working closely with the heads of service of the various states, the 36 states and the FCT. And what we see is a growing interest in reforms that affect the citizens, both at the federal level and the state level. So we're very happy about that. Now back to the question from Ekiti State. The world of work is changing rapidly, and the civil service must not be left behind. Data, artificial intelligence, and digital tools are already changing how governments work all over the world. Our strategy is to make training continuous, structured, and competency-based. Through the Once Knowledge system, we are working to strengthen orientation, navigation, competency development, and enterprise knowledge across the service. We're also linking all our training to the comprehensive competency model so that officers are not just attending courses, but they're acquiring skills that are relevant to their roles, their career growth, and the future of work. Just to add that in the area of data and artificial intelligence, we're exposing officers to digital literacy. We have several online digital literacy courses that are ongoing, and I can tell you that already over 20,000 officers have accessed that training. We have data use, training, knowledge management, and emerging technologies. We have also introduced tools such as our own artificial intelligence service-wise GPT. That is really gaining popularity, not only amongst civil servants, but also the private sector. And we see that service-wide GPT helps officers access information from the public service rules, circulars, and other official documents which the artificial intelligence has been trained on. But I must emphasize this. Technology will not replace the civil servant. I know that there have been some fears in some corners. What it will do is to empower the civil servant who is willing to learn. The future belongs to officers who are adaptable, ethical, digitally competent, and committed to continuous learning. You know, in terms of bringing our civil service up to speed with other nations of the world, you would have heard of the International Civil Service Conference, which we introduced last year, and this year we had the second edition. That conference is doing a lot to build the capacity and the capabilities of our civil servants, federal and state inclusive. Because it is an international conference, they're also exposed to their peers in other countries, and there's a good exchange of knowledge and ideas, and we're happy that Nigeria is being put on the map of the global public service space. Because we are engaging more with the citizens and with the private sector, they see the need to support the reform initiatives. And so we have a lot of support coming from not only the development partners, but even the local private sector, companies, organizations who see the good in what we do and who have determined to support us so we can serve the citizenry better. And I'm very happy with the collaboration with the states. I see that many of them are actually beginning to also they're beginning to borrow a leaf from our reform initiatives by introducing them in their states. So several states have begun to digitalize their work processes and begun to start performance management, and we're happy. This is a collaboration which we believe will help Nigeria as a whole. And because it is a support for the whole of government approach, I see that indeed in the not too distant future, we will have a Nigerian civil service that we all can be proud of.
My name is Suleiman Alassane Dambam from Bauchi. From the e-filing to the virtual meeting, how far has the paperless civil service gone? What is delaying the full adoption in MDAs? And what tax investment will you see before the 2027 to cut the red tape?
Yes, Suleiman from Bauchi, okay. Thank you very much for that question. You know, you've just asked a question about a reform that is very dear to my heart. So the paperless civil service initiative has progressed very significantly. It is one of the reforms I am very proud of because it is practical, visible, and transformative. Like I said, all 38 ministries and extra ministerial departments have digitalized their work processes. That means we have moved from intention to implementation. We now have widespread use of platforms such as GovMail, electronic content management systems, and other digital tools. GovMail now has over 115,000 active official email accounts owned by public servants. And we are happy because this is a very secure platform for official communication. The paperless initiative is helping us reduce delays, improve traceability, strengthen accountability, preserve institutional memory, and reduce the cost of doing government business. Of course, digitalization is a journey. I'm glad we have started that journey. We are still improving adoption, training officers, strengthening infrastructure, and ensuring that all MDAs use the platforms effectively. But the foundation has been laid, and I think that is very important. And therefore, the Federal Civil Service is no longer where it used to be. We are now on track for a fully digitalized service.
My name is John Habila Murai from Bauchi State. Citizens judge the civil service by results. What mechanisms have the head of civil service of the Federation created to ensure human resources are harnessed through reforms for effective service delivery in ministries, departments, and agencies?
Okay, John, thank you very much for your question. Our people are the engine of the civil service. Buildings do not deliver service, people do. Systems do not reform themselves, people drive reform. That is why we are focusing on putting the right people in the right places. Through the Personnel Audit and Skills Gap Analysis, PASGA project, we're identifying the skills available in the service, the gaps that need to be addressed, and the best way to deploy officers for improved service delivery. We have also recently announced the professionalization of the human resource management in the Federal Civil Service. Sorry, let me take that again. We have also recently announced the professionalization of human resource practice in the Federal Civil Service. This is very important because the human resource role must go beyond routine administration. It must become strategic, data-driven, and performance-focused. HR officers or those in HR roles must be able to support workforce planning, talent management, succession planning, performance management, and institutional productivity. In addition, the performance management system helps us connect each officer's work to the priorities of the ministry and the renewed hope agenda of the administration. My 2 years in this role as head of the civil service of the Federation has been very, very interesting. But it has been a lot of work. But I think what really touches me most is the support and encouragement that I have received whilst driving these reforms. And that support and encouragement starts with the President himself. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Nigeria, has been very supportive. He has encouraged me in ways that has enabled me to put in my best, because I think that is what is required of us, to put in our best. And then when we put in our best, God is the one who actually grows the reforms. So I also want to say thank you to God for the grace. I want to thank him for the team that he gave me to work with. I want to appreciate him for the private sector and the public sector that have supported me in this reform drive. I would say that all the reforms and where we are with the reforms would not have been possible if not for all these levels of support that we received. It has been an exciting journey. It has been a difficult journey, but it has been, I dare say, a very fruitful journey. And I thank everyone, every Nigerian who has encouraged us in any way, I want to say thank you, and we pray that we will continue to receive this support, that we may serve the citizens of Nigeria better. I must not end this interview without thanking the Nigerian Television Authority with its very compelling slogan, "You can't beat the reach." The NTA has been an awesome partner with the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation these past 3 years. NTA has been there for us. NTA has promoted our programs. NTA has helped us popularize even the programs that we are unable to pay for advertisement, because NTA does it free for us. I want to say to the management and the staff of NTA, thank you. The Office of Head of Service really appreciates the work that you have done with us these years. We are grateful for your live coverage of the International Civil Service Conference and other programs that we have held. We are happy to know that you are our partner in progress. We are happy for all the reports that you do to popularize our programs and to let the citizens know what this office is doing. And so I say today, management and staff of Nigerian Television Authority, thank you.
Yes, Head of Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Wilson-Jack, is a pacesetter, imbibing new trends and bringing the service up to speed with global systems. That is why state, public service and the private sector across the nations are coming forward, partnering with the federal government reforms to serve citizens better. Now, performance management systems and paperless civil service are progressing as the renewed hope agenda continues the promising journey. That is clear that practical, visible and transformative structures are laying the platform for a nation on a path to renewal as manpower development, welfare, new exit gratuity were introduced, and many more are rising the platform of federal civil service from grace to grace. I am Amina Nujain. Thank you for watching.